Hi guys, we're gonna wait a few minutes till Dr. Martin joins us. We're gonna give everyone a few minutes. Hey everybody, we're gonna give everyone a few minutes till Dr. Martin joins us. She will be joining us live here in a few minutes. Let's get Dr. Martin. So hi guys, and like I said, we're gonna wait a few minutes until Dr. Martin comes on. And in the video section on this group, you will see all of our episodes labeled starting at 1, and I'll have a subject matter in the title. I'm a little technically challenged sometimes when it comes to the computer stuff, so we'll give Dr. Martin a few more minutes. Hi everybody. I haven't figured out how to turn the phone around either, so I can see everybody going across. So I can see everybody, I just have to turn my head around. Hi Amber, hi Sarah, hi Sarah. Hello Amber, thanks for tapping in. We're gonna wait a few minutes until we get Dr. Martin. Are you there, Dr. Martin? Dr. Martin, hello. Hello, Dr. Martin. While we're waiting for Dr. Martin, I appreciate everybody joining these videos. We've been having some technical difficulties over the last few weeks, and we were actually going to do a Zoom, but that seems to be even more challenging than the way we do it here on Facebook. So what I do is after these videos are done, I post them on YouTube, and that way we can share from YouTube, so none of our comments that are in this section will be shown. And as most of you guys know, I have a TED Talk that's coming out and a book. So we want to keep a lot of that stuff really super private within the group when we're talking about certain things. Hi, Michelle. We're waiting for Dr. Martin. And I appreciate everybody joining today. Come on, Dr. Martin, where are you? So we'll give her a few minutes, but before she comes on, hi Michelle, we're gonna show this again because this is key, these. So the whole reason why I'm talking and why I'm an activist and an advocate is I had kidney cancer. So 3 years ago, I lost this, which is the kidney, and this is actually the size of your kidney. So these guys here, which we have 2 of them, and can you live with 1? Yeah, but I don't really want to do that. So this kidney right here is filtering a lot of things. Toxins, number 1, regulates our blood pressure, helps flush out urine, bacteria, helps with our thyroid, helps with our brain function. Since this was removed 3 years ago, I actually wasn't getting any better. So that's the whole reason for these groups and for my TED Talk, because I found a connection from the kidney cancer to my implants. And I found that out because I actually have been in my business for 34 years. I'm a hair expert. I mainly do hair extensions and color correction. And about 90% of my clients that come to me have severe hair loss. That's why we're getting extensions. So after about the last 3 years, I said, this can't be all of us having hair loss in Scottsdale, Arizona. I mean, this is kind of not making sense to me. So that's when I started doing more research and starting more groups. And we'll talk about that more when my TED Talk comes out. But these, for the new ladies that are on the group, this is your capsule. This is what holds the liquid. So if you guys can see, obviously, the liquid inside of this right now, this is saline. This is my 3rd set. I had 3 sets of these. Started when I was 26. I'm now 50. So these were taken out in December. I still have 2 more sets of this inside here, which we're working on, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But what I was trying to educate, and I know Michelle, you can hear me on this video, is that I've had a few ladies come to me, and as most of you guys know, I'm in Scottsdale. So we are probably the 2nd most, plastic surgery is number 2 here next to California, which is where I used to live. We need to educate ladies that sometimes, depending on what's in here, may not really make a difference because we have to get the whole bag out. Dr. Martin, let's add you. I have to turn my head sideways. But what I was saying, ladies, as the bag, this is the key. This is the key to what I found out affected this. The capsule itself, and as we list on the group, that basic description of what we have, there's over 20 to 35 foreign objects on the bag itself. Hi, Dr. Martin. Can you hear us?
Hi, sweetheart.
Woo, look at your background. That looks cool. What's in the bag?
Making a display for ASEA, my curtain.
Woo, I thought
in the new spa.
It looked like it was wings or angel wings.
Go with that.
So everybody today, welcome to the group. We are going to talk about pH for a little while because our video last week kind of didn't go through. Dr. Martin, I was just covering again the capsules because we have a few new ladies that are contemplating having their implants replaced. And they think that having the implants replaced with a different type of capsule is going to fix the problem. So we know that is not correct, and that's why we're here to educate you. But today's topic is on pH, and we'll see how much we get covered, and then we will proceed. So Dr. Martin, do you want to kind of pick up where we left off last week about pH and kind of start fresh?
Well, I'll try. My head is into decorating the new wellness center and spa today, but last week we talked about, and under last week's post, I had put up several charts of high alkaline foods and some low acidic foods to avoid. And that's really important to do. You can start that process of alkalizing yourself before surgery. That's really important because you need to have a high alkaline and be able to not have any narcotics and blood thinners and all that kind of stuff in your body before the surgery so that the surgery goes well. So my goal as a naturopath would be to get you ready for the surgery. And part of that readiness for surgery is so that we know where you are before the surgery with your mineral levels, your heavy metal levels, so that after surgery, you can start detoxing those heavy metals. Because when you remove those implants, you're going to have a capsule or like a glove. And when you look at people's pictures, you'll see a little bloody thing, little tissue that lays beside it. Those are commonly referred to as capsules. The implants are referred to, yes. And see, yours is already bleached out white. Are they in formaldehyde?
I've saved these in my lunchbox, my husband's lunchbox, I will say, in formaldehyde, yes. And I wanted to show you because I've been saving them so much, they're still leaking. This was almost full December 25th last year, and it's half gone. And they're stored in the bags, in the lunchbox, in formaldehyde.
Yeah, well, they will continue to leak. And that's the challenge. Our minds can't get around that there's something inside of our body, literally, that it's a ticking time bomb. And what's in them is not just salt water. I'm sorry. We've all been lied to. We have to just get on with life and accept that as we've been lied to. We've been duped. So let's clean up the damage. The shell has over 40 some chemicals in it. So what happens, the longer those are in your body, they will absolutely break down. Now, some people start having reactions immediately, and those people, I do believe, have Lyme and have MTHFR.
Right.
Lyme loves heavy metals. Those have a lot of heavy metals in it. So the Lyme just gets bigger and better and crazier, okay? Mold also loves heavy metals. It adds a little EMF charge to the mold and it makes it grow. So if you were like I was and had a Mentor saline leaky valves that are kind of famous back in the 90s,
Yeah.
then you had a lot of mold and you're going to be sensitive to mold. Your hair test is going to show that to some degree, but also a regular IgG or IgE allergy test will show if you're sensitive to mold. You can go through some extensive mold testing as well. You'll find different mold support groups online. But if you think about it now, we're going to go talk about the capsules. The capsule is the glove that fits around them. The one in your little jar. Yeah. The jar, the little jar. Hold the jar up.
Right.
So that stuff fit around that implant. Okay. So the implant itself is bleeding into what she's holding up right there. So when you take out those capsules, these little things in the orange jar there, that opens them up. If there's a leak in them or they can't take them out all in one piece, which is called an en-bloc surgery or an en-bloc explant, then it opens up whatever was the bleed off. So the bleed off is Lyme, mold, heavy metals, and whatever bacteria or virus got in there. And if you were like me and you're actually allergic to silicone, every shell in every implant is silicone.
Right.
I'm allergic to silicone. I started encapsulating my capsules, those little things she's holding up, got like atrophied hard and squeezed my implant hard because I was allergic. Right. My body made tissue. Her body made that tissue that she's holding up right there. That tissue is an allergic reaction, or actually it's an autoimmune reaction to a foreign body being in our bodies. Everything we put in that's foreign makes that kind of tissue. Okay? If you had a splinter in your thumb and it just stayed in there, after so long, your body's going to have that kind of tissue surrounding it because it's a natural immune response. You triggered an immune reaction. Your body's going to protect the heart at all costs. Now, you can't just go in and remove an implant and not the capsules. And unfortunately, there's a whole lot of surgeons out there trying to do that. So don't let them sell you a pack of lies and some easy, quick fix remedy to a bigger problem, because those capsules right there hold the toxicity that was bleeding out of your implants for however long you had them. Maybe it was only a couple of weeks before you started feeling your reactions with your immune system going crazy. Maybe it was 10 years. If it's 10 years, your capsules, your implant itself, the hard implant, yep, that has been deteriorating. The outside shell is deteriorating. TK's shell depleted so much that they're still leaking.
Yep.
Yep. So that leak goes into those white capsules that she held up in the little jar. Now, you can't be having those capsules removed safely unless it is en-bloc, okay? A lot of people, if they have ruptured, you can't have those implants come out without the little glove, the little capsule around it, because what's in that capsule is pure poison. Right. Pure poison. It is going to damage so much cell, so many immune systems, possibly your internal organs. You have to get that out. Do not get implants replaced until everything has gone back out and gotten cleaned back up. I realize that there are women who identify with themselves as having bigger boobs, and I get that. I'm empathetic to that. I've been down that road. All of us are. But the healing comes when you start saying you are not your breast implants. You are not your body parts. You are not your breast. You are a bigger person than that. You are a bigger identity. You are a bigger vibration. You are a bigger being than any breast ever identified you as. And stop letting people identify you as boob jobs or people with boob jobs. Just stop it, because you're more than that. Those of you who are in this group or listening to this video, you're waking up. You are not your breast. You are whole. I don't care how deformed taking those things out makes you. You are better without them than you will ever be with them. Because I guarantee you, they're going to damage your organs. They're damaging every cell in your body. They're damaging your mitochondria. The heavy metals that they're off bleeding or off gassing almost is going to ruin your health. It's just a matter of time. That's why they're frequently referred to as ticking time bombs. They might be good for 5 years. They might be good for 3 years. They might be good for 2 weeks. But after that, honey, they start degenerating. Now, if you're a healthy person and you work out like TK does and you exercise, you do Pilates, you do yoga, you eat healthy, well, guess what? Your implants are going to break down faster.
Yep, they did.
Because your immune system is going to go after them. They're like little Pac-Man, your immune system. They eat up all the free radicals. And that's going to scrub off and break down those bags. Okay? So if you're a healthy person and you have a strong immune system and you think you've got it all by the tail, guess what? It's just a matter of time. Mm-hmm. Now, what this whole process does to you is it makes you acidic. Okay? And there are some of us who have genetic predispositions to certain cancers.
Right.
Or can be breast cancer, can be kidney cancer, can be your liver. But those cancers cannot, the cells in cancer cells will keep mutating the lower your pH is. Right. You have to get your pH up. So if you get your pH up, get those implants out, hopefully, you don't end up with cancer. And I don't know what the cutoff time is, because I know for a fact that they are still finding women with the lymphatic cancers after 9 and 10 months.
Right.
After explant. So you're not out of the woods just because you got explanted. You have to detox. You have to get your pH up. You have to get the heavy metals out. You've been bombed. A bomb, you know, those time bombs just exploded in you. Your house is like your body is like your house. It's your building. It's where you live. And a bomb just went off in there. It's causing structural damage, electrical damage, wall damage, foundational damage. Your plumbing has been damaged. Most of us have leaky gut issues. Right. Most of us have wiring issues. Our brain fog is a wiring issue. It's a central nervous system issue. The neurotoxins in those implants just bombed your system. Now, you need 2 things besides a real strong spiritual constitution. And that's number 1. Right. But number 1 technically is you need good building materials. When you have to go in and renovate a house because it had mold, or because a bomb went off in it, or because you had a fire in that house, you have to rip out the damaged material. You have to rip out the carpet. You have to rip out the cabinets. You have to rip out the walls. You have to put in new walls, okay? So the other thing you're going to need is a building force, a building team, a labor force. You need good building materials. You need a labor force. And you have to have your vision. That's your strong spirit. Your strong spirit needs to hold on to you being healthy. It needs to hold on to you being happy. It needs to hold on to you deserve so much better than what you've got. And you know what? Those of us who are living well now, we are the revenge. Right. Living well is the best revenge. I don't think we can go back and sue these doctors, because most of them didn't know back then what they were doing. Right. Most of these manufacturers, the big boys that went to jail, they've paid their price. So getting money out of these manufacturers, I don't know how you're going to do it. God bless you if you try. But, you know, my records got burned up. The other doctor that worked on me, he died. I don't have records.
Mine too.
The only thing I have to get revenge with is I gotta get healthy and I gotta live well, and I'm gonna spread the word. So with that, ask me some questions.
I did want to bring up that we had a few ladies new, and as most of you guys know, because a lot of people ask kind of questions with me, because I'm in Scottsdale, almost 90% of my clients have implants. So it's kind of hard for some people to kind of come forward. But what I'm trying to explain was, when I was talking to the new lady about this particular capsule that I just had, I still have 2 more sets of these. And that's what I wanted you to go over, Dr. Martin, as that I'm 50. So my first set was 20 years ago with Dow. Dow is not even in anymore. They switched to Mentor, then they switched to someone else. So way back in the day, 20 years ago, I still have some of this in here. So I'm trying to explain, Dr. Martin, that even if somebody has these, depending on if it's 10, 15, 20 years ago, the whole entire implant has to come out. They're not understanding what we're saying. Can you go over that again for a minute?
Yeah. So the whole implant that was put in originally needs to be removed, including all of anything that might have ruptured. That's what has to come out. That's where the chemicals are. That's what the damage is going to be. And then the capsule that surrounded it, that your body make, that's the piece that's in the orange jar. All of that has to come out, every bit of it, because you still have molecules of the toxicity in those capsules and off those implants. If you don't get it removed, you're still at risk. And that's probably, I would put 99% of my reputation on it, that's how you lost your kidney.
I know. I already know that, and that's why I'm doing a TED Talk. The unfortunate thing is, the first set of capsules that I had, my doctor's dead, so I can't get any of those records. But it's like in my brain, as you're saying to these ladies, I'm alive, I'm extremely active, I'm extremely healthy. I'm not going to go try sue anyone because I don't have the time or the energy to do that. I'm here to educate all of you guys to do the right thing and get this shit out. That's what we're talking about. So when we go back to the pH, and we're talking about pH for a lot of the ladies, I've had people ask me about infrared. In my salon here where I am, I have an oxygen chamber that I actually had, that I sold when I had cancer. I have an infrared sauna, and I do a lot of like hooky things in here. We don't have blow dryers. When it comes to infrared sauna, you don't want to do that until these are out. We're talking about pH right now, and you guys need to change your entire lifestyle now so you can get through this shit later. So can you kind of start talking about some foods? I think they're posting comments, and I can't see the comments on the video. Can you see them, Dr. Martin?
I see a few, but I have to hold my phone sideways so I can't read them.
Me too. What are they doing? I can't either.
Let me put a little plug in here. You know, I've been a naturopath for over 40 years. I'm used to selling products. I'm used to doing therapies. I've been trained. I have a science background in doing that. I have very much a great skill and a great following all over the world. I've trained students in colon hydrotherapy. I've trained students in naturopathic esthetician, in eyelash extensions, you name it. I love teaching. But some of the support groups, they don't want you to sell products. They don't want you to, you know, make profit off of it. I will be right up front and tell you that's what I've been doing all these years. And I will be right up front and tell you, had I not been doing that all these years, I would not have survived. And I have 3 doctors who have said that as well. So you do need to do colonics. You do need to detox those heavy metals. The first thing I want you to do is a hair mineral analysis test. TK and I have done some past videos. Go back and read those videos. There's also videos that I post on my page from myself. And if you're in my Arizona group, we have a list of my videos in a document in our files that you're welcome to go in and look at all those videos. We're posting them new every week. I've gone into great detail talking about what's on the hair mineral analysis. I've gone into great detail about detox. I am a paid breast implant wellness advocate. what I've asked people to do so that I can prioritize my time, not so that I can get rich. Because believe me, I spend anywhere from 4 to 8 hours a day helping women. I do not get paid for the majority of that. But what I do know is that there are some women who need my services extremely well and more full time than others. They're sicker. They're desperate. So what I've asked them to do is pay $100 to retain me, which basically what that does is get my attention. I retain them. I research for them. I make videos for them. I find out all kinds of specific information about who they are, their hair tests, their blood tests. I go through it with a fine-tooth comb. I try to look at everything I can so that I know what they need to do. And if they have other eyes looking at things, because sometimes it's too close, you can't see it for yourself, then it helps them. We've found out certain things, certain foods that people are eating. If you have mentor saline implants that had the faulty valves with mold in them, you're not going to be able to eat. You're not going to be able to eat moldy foods. You need to get off of those oxalates. So we've been able to find those kind of things. But I do start everybody that I work with and work exclusively for on the hair mineral test. And then it's always nice if you have other blood labs or other tests, your Epstein-Barr, your mold test, your Lyme test, to put into your files. I just create an online file for you. Technically, it's online and in my notes. And I go through it every day and see what we can do to improve that. I've never asked anybody to pay another fee, but I have had other people say, you've helped me so much, I'm going to give you another donation, or I'm going to give you another payment. And that's wonderful and that's beautiful. And trust me, I love that you do that because it's allowing me to open a new wellness spa here in downtown Portland right now. And when I get back next month or in March to Scottsdale, I'm going to work with Tammy to build that center to be more alternative wellness, holistic wellness, naturopathic wellness, so people can come in there and we can have another satellite and really get a lot of people done, because she and I both have books coming out. She has a TED Talk and I'm looking into doing that. I've been asked to do that. And so with that being said, there's a lot we can do to help. And I'm not into the drama. I'm not into whining. I don't tolerate people that don't want to do action. You need to do therapies. I worked my butt off for 40 years staying well. I had implants for 35 years. Mm-hmm. I've been explanted almost 2.5 years. Wow. And every day I've had to work to stay healthy. So you need those micronutrients. You're going to need supplements after your implants are removed, if not before. Most women, unfortunately, wait till later. You're also going to need a labor force. And that's why I've gotten into the ASEA product line. This is my labor force. This is what moves it. That's what heals the mitochondria. Every time you get poisoned, you lose your redox molecules that you naturally have. Now, we used to think in med school that we have antioxidants and reoxidants, and we do, but we didn't know what reoxidants actually did. Well, they allow the signals to communicate between our cells. And if your cells aren't communicating, they don't know. Used to be when I did supplements with people, it was hard to get some people to absorb. So I thought, well, the answer then was a higher bioavailable, absorbable, higher pH product, maybe an isotonic product that allowed their cells to absorb that nutrient. And that's a piece of it, but it's not all of it. The other piece is I needed the labor force. I needed to get it in, because something has to go in when the bomb has gone off in your house, or the fire or the hurricane or the flood. You've got to go into that house, detect,
You're sticking. Are you still there?
Started.
Are you still there?
I think you lost. Yeah, I'm still there. Are you there? So let me reiterate that last part.
Okay.
There we go.
We have
that better?
We have a lot of questions that I can't read because I have to turn the phone sideways. I have a couple people asking about medicine. Let me see if I can read this. Hold on a second. We have a lady explaining next month. And is it dangerous to get them all out? Will they be able to get it out as much as they can? Thoughts on prep before explant? Chronic pain. Allison, I'm reading your post. You can private message Dr. Martin with that. Where was the chlorophyll one? Is it safe to take chlorella before you've explanted and or removed?
No. No. Do not take the chlorella and the cilantro if you still have mercury fillings, because the mercury will be driven into your internal organs.
And I had them out. So just to interrupt for a minute. So ladies, when we talk about all this, I've had kidney cancer. We all talk. I lost my kidney, which is why I'm doing this. And I actually go back now because I had my implants for 21 years. The first thing that alerted me that something wasn't right, besides the news reporter and the cancer, is that I had pockets. I had perfect teeth for my whole life, braces and all that, no cavities. I have no fillings in there. I went to the dentist. My pockets were 11 millimeters. It's crazy. I had so much deterioration on this bottom gum line that now I'm working with periodontists in Arizona to say, hey, if someone comes to you and their pockets go from a 2 to like an 11 in 6 weeks, I was very adamant. I work out 4 days a week. I ride my bike 40 miles a day. I teach yoga, spin, and Pilates. I'm very, very consistent on things that I do. I go to the dentist every 6 to 8 weeks because I like to get my teeth cleaned out because of my issue with cancer. If that dentist had known that there was something else going on, I may have also been able to save my kidney. So this is like kind of all related. We're not just waking up and going, hey, this is kind of like, it's all related is what I'm trying to say. And that stems from when I went to the doctor with my teeth. So when she's talking about the fillings, I had them removed about 2.5 years ago. And my last appointment yesterday, my pockets now are back to a 5. So I'm good with that. It means the stuff that I'm doing is working. We had another
going in the right direction.
We had another lady.
Oh, and by the way, congratulations to Sarah McMillan, who had her implants removed last week or a couple weeks ago with Dr. Gwen Maxwell down in Tucson. Yay.
Woohoo. Yay.
I know.
And these, right?
Amber Ruby, I see that you said yours are still in because you didn't know what you've done. Honey, you're in the same boat as all of us were. None of us knew. A lot of us were lied to. And some of those manufacturers have gone to prison because of those lies. I also believe that a lot of plastic surgeons were kept in the dark. I truly believe that. They sold what their mouth was loaded to sell, okay? And manufacturers were quite deviant in their behavior. I don't know that there is ever going to be recourse for that, but I choose that my revenge on those manufacturers and on all the lies, on the not knowing part, will be that I live very well. I have 35 years of bad health to make up for. That's why I take this drink right here and really good micronutrients every day, a couple times a day if I can. And I'm rebuilding. I'm now able to walk. I got out of the wheelchair. I don't need my husband to take me to the bathroom anymore. I'm back in business again. I'm able to help people. I want to be a force for good in the world. I want to uplift people. We are building teams. TK and I have, had an alchemy effect where our chemistry and our life paths have converged so we can help people. We can support each other. I really invite you all to join us on that journey so that we can help spread the word, because that's the bottom line. We've got to warn other women. We've got to give them the information to detox, because there's a lot of women dying out there and their causes of death are not being reported. It's being reported as breast implants. It's being reported as lupus. It's being reported as diabetes conditions. It's being reported as a brain aneurysm, as kidney cancer, as liver cancer. That's what their deaths are being called. But you know where it came from? Breast implants. Those things that TK can hold up and show you again. That's where the poison started. And normal, healthy women who stay as normal and healthy as they can afterwards, you're almost not doing yourself any favors, because you're breaking those down even more.
We had a question. Let me go back to this. How do you detox heavy metals when you're on daily medicine to keep your blood pressure up and everything? She's tried everything. So she's on blood pressure medicine, and I would answer, but I know you're going to answer it better. So do you want to go ahead and address that?
Right here. Right here. That's your answer. And then I do think that you have to do high micronutrients. Yeah. You have to. If you don't have good building blocks and you don't have a labor force to restore those damaged cells in there, you're not going to get well. You're not going to get well. The only thing other than building blocks and labor force that you need is a good attitude. And I'm trying to help you with the attitude, and that's all about living well. And it's about dedicating your life to doing good. You know, every day I went to work when I was a naturopath, I thought, I wonder who God is sending me today that I can help. And I was excited driving to work, you know, and I lived like that for 40 years. And then when I had to close my holistic school, I was able to teach holistic college. When I had to close that, I really had an identity crisis, because I didn't know who I was going to be if I couldn't help people. So after my explant, I started thinking, well, if I could just help maybe 20 people, then, you know, I'll start this support group down there in Arizona, and I'll get to know some great ladies, and we can all detox and heal together, and life will be great. Well, we have over 400 women in the Arizona support group now. You have to live in Arizona, you have to explant in Arizona, and you have to want Arizona resources to be in that group. Right. We are exclusive. I don't put up with drama. I don't put up with people talking about doctors out of state. And, you know, you want to attack me for posting all my medical stuff and giving you the information you need to heal, then you don't need to be in that group. So I'm pretty clear about who I am, but I understand a lot of women are very, very sick. And I bless them and I release them, and I'm sure they're going to find someplace else. But if your payoff is to get attention for being sick, God bless you. I'm not going to give you attention for being sick. I'm going to give you what you need to get well. And those things that TK is holding are not going to get you well.
No, and what I was
not going to get you well.
What I was talking about yesterday with a few of my clients, like I said, you know, once this TED Talk comes out, I think it's going to be a little more validation for some things that's happening, because at this point in the day, most of you guys know I'm actually married to a doctor, so I choose my words carefully because he still doesn't really believe in this situation. So it's not that we are here to, our whole main focus of these groups is to help us get well. We're not here to deal with all of that other stuff. We're here to help you because we know that this works. So when we talk about pH, we have a bunch of pictures, I believe, listed in this thread, but can you kind of go over a couple things what you were talking about last week about the water? Because I've had people ask me about that, if there's a specific brand.
Yeah, well, maybe what we should do when we're done is repost those pictures on this feed as well.
Okay.
But there is some pictures of pH water. I myself usually, and what I'm offering in my spa, let's see, I have Dasani over there right now, and then we have Fiji water. I like the Fiji water because it also has the minerals in it. And I'm a big fan and got to be with Anne Louise Gettleman again this last week. And she and I have some ideas to, I highly recommend getting her new book, The New Fat Flush Diet, because it helps you with detoxing. She also talks about the ASEA redox molecules in there that we need to replenish our systems with. I met Anne Louise many, many years ago when I was working with Dr. Bernard Jensen, and we were sitting there on Saturday trying to think how long it's been since we knew each other. And we're thinking at least 30, possibly 40 years. So that's a long time for two ladies to be out there healing the world and talking about nutrition and talking about supplements. You're not going to get it from Google. You're not going to get it from these support groups. It takes you allowing somebody to be your personal coach, to be your personal advocate, to go through everything you are doing with a fine-tooth comb and get you to a better place. And the best people to do that are the ones who have survived and have some examples to show you.
Hallelujah.
Okay. And a lot of us that have survived well are in professions of helping other people. I myself went through allergies and mold problems and histamine reactions and mast cell disorders, and I got MS from having breast implants. I went to anybody and everybody. I've had IV chelation therapy. I've had, you name it, I've done it all. Hyperbaric chambers. I've done it all. And there are some things that work. There are some things that help certain problems. But if you don't have, one, the spiritual aptitude to survive and to help other people for a reason, the building blocks, meaning the micronutrients, and the labor force, meaning ASEA redox molecules, on your team, your chances of getting well are much less. Your chances of getting well with those things are over 50% greater. And those are some numbers that I've been looking at. When I put people on the same supplements that they get back recommended from their lab test, when they do their hair test, their increase averages anywhere from 21 to 27% improvement. Okay. What we're now doing is we're adding one thing, ASEA redox molecules, to that same protocol. Guess what? Over 50% improvement from the day they started. That's phenomenal.
I read through the comments. I had to tilt sideways. We have another, and excuse me, I had to say this in my TED Talk, because I had my kidney removed. I have some peripheral cortex issues where sometimes things don't make sense. So sometimes I just talk. But we have a lady, Allison, that Michelle had brought to the group, and I believe she's in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. She's asking about the N block and Explant because her doctor said she'll try to get everything out. Do you want to kind of touch base with her and maybe?
Well, I'd like to know who that is personally. So inbox me. Okay. But number two, there are some conditions when you can't do an M block.
Right.
And have a doctor be honest with you and tell you they're going to get as much out as they can. I think that's a good thing, because you do, if your implants are ruptured and your glove, your capsule is ruptured, M block is not possible. So they're going to have to use scraping. They may cauterize, they may flush that out. Ask them what they're going to do to compensate for not having an M block procedure done. And a lot of these doctors are getting very good at that. And we have a lot of information on how to help the doctors. I've just got done 2 weeks ago educating 22 doctors in what breast implant illness is and the symptoms and the treatment protocols for it. This is 22 doctors that had never heard of this before.
Right. But they were open to you listening and talking to you, right?
Yes, yes. And they're all open, but they don't want to deal with the hysteria and the drama around it. They want professional tools to make, one, their practices better and their clients have better results. So if I approach it from a cognitive, training functional level, they're very receptive. If you have a doctor that you'd like me to talk to, please give them my information.
We had another question. Let me look. Okay, Amber. So Dr. Martin, Amber I met on Instagram. I asked her to come on board and help with the big group because my brain, right? I had no idea that Amber hadn't had a full end block. Can we talk to her a minute? How do we get her on? Because she's going to be starting with us doing some facilitating for us in the Chairty and interviewing ladies for some stories. So Amber, how do we get her on here? Let's see.
I don't know. I think you have to invite her.
Amber. I can't invite her. Amber, are you still on the feed? There you are. How do I add her? I need a millennial. I'm like, where's the millennial?
Where are they? Where do we need them? I know my grandson stopped in this morning and helped me out.
Hold on. I think there she is. Hold on. There you are. Okay. I want Amber to come on for a minute and talk because she's coming on board to help us. And I want her to be able to, everything we do. When you talk about ACA and I talk about this, we want to be duplicatable with what we're saying so our information is correct. Amber, are you on screen yet? Amber. Amber. Is she on us on the screen?
And the last thing I see from Amber is that she's going to private message me her information.
Okay, well, I wasn't aware when I was talking to her that she didn't have a full end block. I wasn't aware of that, and I kind of wanted her to discuss, actually, it kind of is weird to me because some of these now don't have ports in here. So I'm wondering what they physically did. If they just opened up her port and drained it out. Is that what they did, Amber? Because if that's the case, I still have 2 sets left in here that they're trying to get out because this wasn't all of it. That's kind of why I'm still not feeling well. Amber, is she typing in there?
I don't see. But Allison just asked if I would talk with her doctor, and I'm most happy to do that. Just private message me, and we can set up a time. I understand that some doctors feel that it's too dangerous because they don't want to puncture your lungs.
Right.
They may not have the skill set to do that scraping. You might want to shop around for a different doctor, but let's really ask deeper questions of those doctors and find out what they're going to do to compensate and why they feel they might not be able to get it all out. That's my question first.
Okay.
And I just saw that Amber had silicone.
Yeah, and I will say
silicone rupture.
She had silicone. Amber, check the camera with the plus sign and sign in to join. When it comes to silicone, Amber, it's a little bit different. These were saline. The silicone has to be contained. It has to be contained in here, and it can't even drop on the floor. Do you want to cover that a little bit, Dr. Martin? The little bit of difference if this was silicone?
Well, that silicone is very dangerous, and you need to not just clean up the site of the rupture, but everything. It really does need to come out as whole and completely as possible, because the contamination of getting those molecules back out. I mean, I think we've posted in this group before about the cockroach study, and that the silicone was actually developed by Dow Corning to kill cockroaches. And you've got to be thinking that if it hasn't killed us yet, one, we're stronger than a cockroach, but number two, that's how dangerous this stuff is it's a neurotoxins. It's meant to kill. So you don't want to have old silicone exposed to oxygen molecules while your body is open. it's just going to proliferate the damage real fast. And you have exposed internal organs in there. That's why so many people are very adamant that you remove silicone in block.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, because most of the people that I have in my business are my age plus. I'm dealing with more 21-year-olds because everyone's getting implants in Scottsdale, but they're a little different now and they're trying to do gummies. But what I keep explaining, and I'm going to keep saying this over and over, no matter what it is, this whole thing just has to come out. I don't think Amber's coming on. No rupture?
Okay. Amber, I had the Dow Corning silicone breast implants were my first set back in 1980.
88.
And mine did rupture and they were removed, but the capsules that surrounded them were not removed.
Right.
The doctor told me that it would just add more volume to my breast. And that was his rationalization for leaving them in. And so on top of Dow Corning silicone capsules, so the glove that went around the implant, they left that glove in there. The stuff that's in her little jar, they left that in there. And then they put Mentor salines on top of that I had in for 20 more years.
Me
that
too.
Ruptured also.
Me too.
So I was one very, very sick puppy.
That's what we're trying to explain to you, that the information that we have is vital because we still have some of this left in there that we're trying to detox ourselves. Can you answer this, Dr. Martin? I'm not sure if you can, but can we ever completely get all of that silicone? Because you and I both had Dow. I had mine in 81. Can we really get all of that out from inside, do you think, once it's...
Well, funny you should ask. I am on the hunt of a recipe that I talked with Anne Louise Gettleman this weekend, and she had memory recall about something, a special little formula that she and I are going to research in our notes back in the days of Dr. Jensen. And it was a detox formula. It was something that we could use and drink. It's in the form of a shower, something that we kind of take, and it pulls that out. So I will get back to you. I don't have it yet, but I am definitely looking for it.
And I'm actually going to ask you, this is a different subject, but you know how my brain is 24/7 research. And where we live, we have scorpions. So just to ask you a weird question, Demacious earth. What's your take on that? I've had people actually ask me about taking that as like the benedite clay. What, can you cover that topic on Demacious earth? Are you familiar with that?
Yes, but I'm not such a fan. I've seen a lot of people benefit from it, but I'm just not a fan. And I think it may have to come down to my birthday's the same day as Julia Child's. And I really like food and flavor. And I have a problem taking something in my mouth that doesn't taste good. And that stuff was god awful. So that may be my only big withhold on it. But I do have some of my past patients who've done very well.
So we have a lot of questions on there, I see. And ladies, like what I said earlier, when we do these videos, I actually post them to my YouTube and you can share from there. We don't want all of these comments going all over the internet. And you can private message Dr. Martin for any of the questions you're asking, or myself. We're both working hand in hand. Did you want to cover anything else, Dr. Martin, regarding pH, besides the fact of what we talked about the water on the last video as well? And I think you actually put a chart.
Yeah, I'll put all of the food groups and the water chart on this post when it's done. And then I think I have it posted on my profile, and I made it public as well, so that anybody could just go to my profile page and look. I did make that public. I think I posted it in the Arizona group and was asked to share it public. yesterday or maybe the day before. I don't know. My brain's in a little bit of a fog because we're opening the wellness center, and I was on a regional conference last week, and then before that I was training other doctors. So but every day I've got to keep doing this. I've got to keep getting the word out. People need to know. People need to know, one, what's happened to them. Number two, how to get through it. And number three, that they deserve to live life really well, really well.
I agree. And like I was talking to the group yesterday, if we focus our energy more on healing than trying to soothe people and all of that, it's just much better because our cells actually respond to what we're thinking. And if you guys haven't, I've read over 500 books since the cancer. A good colleague of mine, his name is Joe Dispenza, and he wrote a book called Evolve Your Brain. And if you read that book, it really kind of makes sense because the more we talk to our subconscious, it's sending GABAs to our peripheral cortex, and we can kind of repair things with positive thinking. But again, when we're going to end this video, I'm going to keep expressing how important it is that you guys save these, whether it be just for your own reasonable reasons or you have these sent to a testing lab, which Dr. Martin can help you with. It's very important that you guys keep this and you keep this and you have it tested. That's the only way that you're going to be able to know what we're telling you for recovery is helping you get better in your labs. Because the big thing, like she talks about with heavy metals, me personally, because I have a different practice and I'm more of hair restoration, I look a lot at CRP, which is our inflammation marker. And most of my clients that have inflammation are going to have shitty hair. That's the whole entire reason why when I talk about hair extensions, I can't just do hair extensions unless I treat their insides. I have to have active liver, kidney, and GI. So this can hold all of the stuff that I'm doing. So again, these, your capsules and your tissue is vital in removing out of your body. Anything else that you want to say, Dr. Martin, in closing?
You're doing great. TK has posted my name and tagged me on this. So just go to my profile. You can friend me. You can private message me anytime. I'm happy to share my phone number and my website information in a private message. I hesitate to do that on some of these groups because they think you're selling things. And I don't make any apologies for what I do. I've been doing it 40 years and I've helped thousands and thousands of people. So it is what it is. I'm upfront about it. I'm not hiding anything. And you have to take an informed, proactive choice. I put the information out there.
Right.
And you know, if it's right for you, then that's wonderful. I'm happy to help. If it's not right for you, then I'm sure you've learned something that doesn't feel right. Maybe it'll be right for you next week, and that's okay, great. Yes, we do have a website. It's taliswoman.com, TALISWOMYN.com. It's similar to my name, Talismay, but this is a Taliswoman. Talismay was my medicine name given to me from my grandmother's tribe. After she died, I was initiated as the medicine woman and took her place. And Talismay is basically a name or a word that means a lucky charm, something that you can put your faith in. And since I was a doctor at the time, the elders thought that that was a fitting name for me. So after I became legally divorced, I changed my name to my first name to Talismay. So I am now Talismay Jean Martin. So anyway, that's all you need to know. You can Google me. I think if you Google Talismay Martin, all 17,000 pages are me. So I'm out there. I'm popular. I network with a lot of doctors, and I'm trying to educate them as much as I am trying to help the women. So send me some love, send me your prayers, and I send them right back to you. So with that, I think we're good.
So everybody, I want to say thank you, everybody, for joining the group. And I want to say every one of you can be your own superhero. When we get this TED Talk out, my charity called Superheroes is to help as many people as I can. And it's not just local Arizona. And what I'm trying to do with Amber, who's on this group, once we start doing stories, If you guys want to be involved with the charity, we will put you in the book and you will be part of my 5013C. I'm actually trying to network with another group called Toxic Tits Committee. They're trying to get some grants and fundraising because I don't know how to do that. So we can maybe help more ladies with explants moving forward. So again, we're all here to help you. We're both very educated. We are very professional. We have our own businesses. The goal is to help more of you get well and be your own superhero. So until next Monday, you too can be your own superhero. Peace out. Thanks, guys. Bye, Dr. Martin.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, sweetie.